My name is Medha and welcome to my channel, The Wordy Habitat. My hair's a mess today because I just washed it and it's not completely dried yet, so ignore that. But I was in a mood to film today. I was like, okay, you know what? Today we're gonna get our second YouTube video done. So I just sat down even though my hair is a mess and I'm not really sure how I look. I'm still in my pages, but yeah. Anyway, I posted a poll on Twitter and I gave two options. I said, do you want to see me talk about my favorite books of all time, or do you want to see a ranty video about books that I hate? So people voted for my favorite books of all time. So here we are. I'm going to talk about my favorite books of all time today. I mean, it's clearly said from the title, but let's just go. My longest, no wait, this is actually not my longest, but this is one of my favorite books of all time, which is The Hunger Games. And I had never heard of this book, but my cousin gifted it to me in 9th grade, the whole trilogy, the box set along with the t-shirt. And I read it because of him, and I absolutely fell in love with this trilogy, and this introduced me to the dystopian genre in 9th grade. And since then I've reread this book so many times, way too many times. It's been 8 years since I got this book, and it's very well used, clearly. So yeah, that was book one, and it's also quite popular, so I'm pretty sure you know it. The next book is Legend by Mary Lou. This I read in 10th grade first. The whole trilogy was it's available for a cheaper price on Amazon, so I ordered it, and I'm so glad I did because this book is so good, and I love the characters, I love the plot. It's a really nice take on the dystopian world. I love the world building and the entire plot, and the cliffhangers at the end of book 1 and book 2 are wow. It's a good thing I had all 3 books with me, because those cliffhangers, if I had to wait for the next book, they would have killed me. Book 3, The Shadow of the Wind by Ruiz is Zafon. This I read first in 7th grade because I was fortunate enough to have a private library near my house, and my mom signed me up for it. So that's how I actually started reading novels in the first place. It was because of that library, and I used to go around just picking random books from random shelves, and that's how I came across this. I just picked it up one day. I was like, you know what, the name sounds cool, so let's take it home and read it. And I did, and I fell in love because this book centers around a cemetery of forgotten books, where basically, imagine you walk into a door and you're in a level, yeah, and there is an expanse, a whole room underneath you, which is like a labyrinth of bookshelves, and all the forgotten books, the banned books, like the last copies of books, they are here to hide and to be kept safely. And that is a cemetery of forgotten books, and that's how this book starts. I've been recommending this book to almost everyone. It's my go-to recommendation because it's just so good. Its plot is really good. It has mystery, it has thriller, and it has romance too, but that's not the focus. The mystery, it's also revolves around this really mysterious author who has disappeared, and suddenly someone is burning off all of his remaining books. And I absolutely love this book, and if you haven't read it, you should read it. The next book is Ignite Me by Tahereh and Mafi. I like Shadow Me. Unravel Me was okay, but I really liked Ignite Me for some reason, probably because, well, it has a found family, it has a group of people, and they come together and they do things. It's like so cool. So that's why I like this book, and I reread it really often, and I'm so glad I own a hardcover now with dental edges. Can you see? So yeah, I'm really glad I own a hardcover now, and it allows me to reread more often. So I just pick up the book and open to random pages, like my favorite scenes, and I just read them when I'm in a book slump, or when I need a comfort read or something. I go to my favorite scenes in this book. The Bobby Boy by Kuang, which I read for the first time last year, and I read it this year, but it's such a good book, yeah, and the plot, the characters, and all of the themes that the author brings in, it's mind-blowing. I absolutely love it. I can't wait for the third book, which comes out in November. I already pre-ordered it, so Yeah, but anyway, this is too awesome and it deserves to be on this list. The other 4 books I actually do not have, so I wrote them down so I don't forget what I have to say. Right. Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine. I'll add a picture somewhere here. Maybe on my hands. So Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine is a middle grade fantasy book, which I read first in either 6th or 7th grade, again from the library, and that was the one book that I reissued in the library throughout my time, throughout my membership over there until it closed down. So it was such a good book because the main character is brave, and she has a proper growth in a character growth in the book, and there's her friendship with another girl, which was my favorite part, and which is not shown in the movie adaptation. The movie adaptation with Anne Hathaway does not have a friendship with the other girl, and which was my favorite part of the book. And I'm just like, why? But also, as usual, the movie is not as good as the book. So, but anyway, that book is one of my favorites. I think the last time I read it was 2 years back. I read it. I read it about 2 to 3 years back, and I still loved it because it's too good of a book. Yeah, it's too good. The next book that I really liked was Rafe by Rebekah Weatherspoon. Rafe by Rebekah Weatherspoon. It is a romance novel which I first read, I think, early last year or late 2018. I think late 2018, and the minute I finished reading it for the first time, I started rereading it because it was too good. The romance was awesome. The characters were fully fledged. They had depth, and each of them was so strong on their own. And I was like, wow. So that was the main characters, and then it was also a romance where the female lead is a single mother, so she had 2 twins. They were really cute as well. But I think the main thing that I really liked in the romance was communication. The 2 characters knew how to communicate. They were mature and they took proper decisions, and it was not like messy romances that I've read otherwise. So that was really nice, and it was refreshing actually. Since then I've been reading more of Rebekah Weatherspoon's books, and I highly recommend them. The next book is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren, which is a best friends 2 lovers romance that I first read about 3 years back, I think. When I first heard of Christina Lauren's, that time I was trying out their books, and this is my number 1 book of theirs because, first of all, Best Friends 2 Lovers is my favorite trope, right? And this book has all the pining. Like, the best part of this trope is the pining between the 2 main characters, right? And this book just delivered in spades with that, and I'm like, wow. Also, both the characters are opposites. The romance is opposites attract because both the characters are very different, and I really liked the dynamic. I liked the friendship. I liked how they progressed to falling in love with each other. I liked how it ended. It was really nice, and it is also one of my comfort books, which I open and read my favorite scenes whenever I'm just like in a mood, or I just want something comfortable to read that I know I like. I pick this book. And the last book that I have is Fumbled by Alexa Martin, which I first read last year, 2018. I don't know. I read it sometime because I saw it on some book list, and I was like, okay, let's try. And I read it. I loved it. Yo. Okay, so there are so many romance books, right? And there's so many romance books where the main character, the male lead, is a sports star, and like football, basketball, hockey, I don't know, whatever sports exist. They are like superstars, and they're on the press, and they're super popular and things like that, right? But and always the sport is so glorified, and this is the first book I've seen where the sport is not glorified. We see that the guy is a football player. We see that he's famous, he earns a lot, and he can afford a lot of things, but we also see how the sport affects him physically and mentally, and we also learn about the negative effects of football down the years, like down the lane for all the players, and how it can badly affect them also leading to diseases or mental illnesses and how it affects them and their families. I had never known about that before, and this book told me about that. So that took me aback, and that was something really new that I had not seen highlighted before. And also this book has a really good girl group, like the girl friendship, like I want that girl group. Yeah, like it was so nice, and I was like, I want to be in this book with these characters. So this book was really nice because it delivered in ways that are not ways that are not just a romance, and I really like that. That's it. Those are my nine favorite all-time favorite books, which I highly recommend, and you should try whichever genre you prefer, because I think I mentioned fantasy, dystopian, romance, and literary fiction. So, oh, I also mentioned middle grade. So if you're interested in any of them, do check them out. I will add some links in the description for all the books to either Goodreads pages or my reviews if they exist, so that you can check them out and yeah, try them. I'm gonna leave. Sorry, I'm gonna end the video now because do I have an outro? I'll see you next time with another video, hopefully, if I don't decide that this is the end of my YouTube career.